Hello and welcome to today's episode of Value in the Community. My name is Irene Agumbiade, I'm your host. With me on the program today is Mrs. Ade Jokelayi Babatunde. Mrs. Jokelayi Babatunde is the Deputy CEO of Lawbreed Limited, the authorized publishers of the judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. She is also the Executive Director of Lawbreed Academy, as well as the founder of the December 6th initiative. Mrs. Ade Jokelayi Babatunde, you're most welcome to today's program.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, all the way from Nigeria.
Great to see you. Great to have you joining us. And again, congratulations on your nomination just yesterday as the chairperson of the Law Week International Federation of Women Lawyers, Lagos chapter. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
My first question to you is, who is Mrs. Ade Jokelayi Babatunde? You wear many hats, of course. I've just been able to tell just a few of the hats that you wear. Who is Mrs. Ade Jokelayi Babatunde? Just tell us a little bit about your background, your journey so far, and how did you get to be the woman that we see today?
Thank you very much, Ms. Irene Agumbiade, for this wonderful program that you have put together. And I consider it a great privilege to be here to talk about a little bit about myself and who I am. Like you said, my name is Ms. Ade Joke Adeshola Babatunde, and I was born some 50-something years ago to a lovely family in the city of Ibadan. And a lovely family, beautiful childhood, and right from the time I was very young, I actually wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to study law. So I worked so hard, very hard. And I thank God that my dream came to pass. I'm a lawyer by profession. I was called to the Nigerian bar some 30-something years ago. And so far, it has been a great, amazing journey. We are the authorized publishers of judgments of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. I say we because I'm a co-preneur. We founded the Lawbreed. I founded the Lawbreed with my husband, who is also a lawyer. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. And that was about some 22 years ago now. And of course, one of the things we always did was ask ourselves, why are we doing this? When we were going to start law reporting, at that time, the law reports that we have in Nigeria, particularly the main law report, was getting very expensive, and younger lawyers were not able to afford the law reports. In fact, lawyers were going to court with photocopied versions of law reports. So we thought that, okay, why don't we try to make lawyers' lives easier by providing an alternative, a great, good alternative, good quality alternative for them. And we approached the Supreme Court, and they granted us the permission to publish them. Actually, the law reports were published by justices of the Supreme Court in the earlier years, 1972 to 88. But in 1988, they decided not to report again, and they wanted to just focus on delivering judgments. So in 1999, we approached them and they granted us that franchise of publishing the judgments of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. By the way, the Supreme Court is the apex court in the land. It is the highest court in the land. It is the final court in the land. So when cases come up from High Court to Court of Appeal, it goes everywhere. Litigants are not satisfied. They end up at the Supreme Court. But when the Supreme Court gives their judgment, they can't go any other place. They can only go to the court of God. Whatever the court decides, that is the law and the situation as regards that case. So we have done this, and we thank God for the reception we've had from lawyers in Nigeria and also lawyers all around the world. I tell you, I was speaking at an event the other day. I said, technology has made the world to really be borderless. I have inquiries for our online law reports from Russia, from America, from so many other places in the world, particularly now that they are online. We have the judgments online, and anybody can access it anywhere in the world. So if you want to know what the Supreme Court is saying at any point in time, just come to LawBridge, www.lawbridge.com, and you get to know what the court is saying. Back in the days I was in secondary school, I love to read. I really, really love to read. And this seed was planted by my dear mother. And that is why I say that parents have to be very intentional. I remember that we had books as Christmas gifts, we had books as birthday gifts. So I actually love to read. And maybe that is why I found law to be very interesting, because I read a lot. And books take you to so many places that otherwise you wouldn't have been if you didn't get to read books. So I love to read books. And whilst at the secondary school, I was in literary and debating, and there was this teacher, my fine art teacher, that also encouraged me in the area of books. And she always had one byline. She would tell us students, focus on the big picture. Focus on the big picture. She always said that. That was my first time of hearing something like that. Focus on the big picture. Picture, you know. So at a very early age, I'm talking like about 14, 15, focus on the big picture was also something that I adopted, and it truly made a great impact in my life. It was one byline that I held on to even throughout my growing up years. So I thank God for that, my fine art teacher that sowed that seed of encouraging me more to read, to do debating, to be interested in public speaking, which in turn assisted me whilst I was in uni. So that's a little bit about myself. And of course, God factor is a major aspect of my life. In fact, it was this fine art teacher in my school, Federal Government Girls College, Bida, that was also the coordinator of my fellowship, the student body fellowship. She was the one that was coordinating the student's body, and she also assisted us a great deal after we gave our lives to Christ. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that detailed overview of your background. Thank you. That was very, very interesting. I was going to later on ask you about how your faith fits into your journey, how it fits into everything that you do. But I will still ask that question later on. But thank you for touching on that for us. I found particularly interesting what you said about focusing on the big picture and having that opportunity to have been able to be doing that even when you were a teenager. And from what you've said, that has helped you a lot. Thank you very much for that. The next question I want to ask you is, as an avid reader myself, what was your favorite book when you were growing up? What were your favorite books? Maybe one or two, just briefly. I just want to know, because I also love reading. Can you remember what were your favorite books when you were growing up?
One of them, I said the Bible was one of my favorite books.
Oh, wow.
That was one of my favorite books. I remember it was then that actually I read the whole of the Bible. In fact, after I left secondary school, I'm not sure I've done that again, but the Bible was a book that was a great company for me, and yes. Those were yes.
What may I ask? Made you read the Bible like that at that tender age?
What?
That made you read the Bible like that? At that age?
Of course, I gave my life to Christ very early. Yes, I gave my life to Christ very early. That was in secondary school. And like I said earlier, my final teacher was a born-again Christian, and she was our coordinator. And of course, we were all burning for the Lord. I mean, it was my secondary school years, but they were memorable years. And she encouraged us in several ways. She had this personal touch. And all of us, I tell you, so many of us were so serious with our Christian faith back then. And she encouraged us. She followed up greatly that we read the Bible. We started by knowing the books of the Bible. We had competitions that you don't have to go to the index of the Bible to know which book of the Bible you wanted to open to. You knew the sequence that those books were. My final teacher was, in fact, I was looking for her recently because we had a reunion, and I realized that so many of us that were in that school, we that gave our life to Christ so early, we are still standing in the Lord. We are still fervent in the Lord, and and sometimes I wish, I don't know where she is now, but I'm just wondering if there's a way we can. I was asking somebody the other day, we have to look for her. All of us, we thank God for how far who we have become. I wish you can see all of us, how we have become,
That would be
of course, in those days, they called us SUs. Because at some point, but we thank God.
That is so great. That is so great. That, just realizing just how much of an impact the teachers actually, have made in the lives of their students, of the pupils, and that's a really great story. That's really, and wherever she is, I hope you do get to locate her and that she's able to see what has become of all of you and the seed that she sowed.
All of us.
God bless the teachers. God bless the godly teachers.
God bless teachers. God bless teachers. And I told somebody, I said, if I was not a lawyer, I probably would have been a teacher, because I have teachers that I still remember them even at this age. And in fact, interestingly, it was one of the reasons why I joined the Concerned Parents and Educators Network in Nigeria, In fact, I happen to be on the board of, a member of the board of trustees of Concerned Parents and Educators Network in Nigeria. We encourage teachers, we do teacher training, we talk to parents and all that and all that. It's a group, strong group on Facebook. I think we're about 234,000 members in that group now as of date, founded by Hika Ogunde. Yes, Concerned Parents and Educators Network. It's a great community of parents and teachers how to assist our children to be the best versions of themselves.
And it's called Concerned Parents and
Educators Network.
Okay, and it's only for people based in Nigeria, is it?
No. It's an online community anywhere in the world.
Okay, so anywhere in the world.
We check online. We can,
okay.
Yes. Anywhere in the world, you can join us. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. You're definitely a woman of many parts. You know how you fit all these things into your your program. I would never know, but I guess God's grace is sufficient for you. The next thing I want to ask you is, I know that you're a woman of value. You're committed to creating value, delivering value to others, and encouraging others to also become people of value. And it's not just to adults, it's youth, everyone out there. What is it that makes you do this? If you can just tell us, what is it that makes you do all these things? Just passionately, and I mean passionately. You're very, when one hears you talking about, the youths and everything, I know we can be here all day if we wanted to hear your views, but just briefly tell us.
Thank you very much for that question. Of course, I'm very passionate about the young people, because I tell everyone that cares to listen that sooner or later we're going to hand over the baton to them. And if you don't prepare them well, if you don't sow the right seeds, if you don't groom them, certainly who are we going to hand over to? So when we think about the future, where we are all headed, I think it behoves on all of us to look out for the young people, to be passionate about them, to sow seeds into them, to mentor them, so that they may be able to avoid some of the mistakes that we probably made. They may be able to take up some experiences, and they are not necessarily going to have to start from the scratch. So that is why mentoring is very, very important to me. And the other thing, one of the reasons why I'm passionate about the young people is that, like I said earlier, I'm a law reporter. I report judgments of the courts. Interestingly, I wouldn't want to bore you, but I told somebody this story. I told somebody this story yesterday. I said, as a lawyer, I started going to court, and I wasn't enjoying it because they were adjourning my matters. They were adjourning my cases. The state of the judiciary in Nigeria, over 200 million people to how many numbers of judges. So the cases were getting adjourned, delayed, and that was around 1995. I was heavily pregnant. I went to court, and my case was adjourned again. And I remember I was so sad. I said, this is the fourth time I will have this matter adjourned. I can't do this again. I'm a restless person. I can't be going from pillar to post every morning, and I get to, and of course, in Nigeria, I think they've started now, because we're already pushing for so many reforms, that if a case is not going to go on, please inform the lawyer so that they don't have to travel to the court to realize that the case has been adjourned. But back in those days, you had to get there for you to realize that your case had been adjourned. So I was discouraged, and I said, no, this is not for me. I'm not doing this again. I stopped going to court. And thank God for my partner. He's alive, Babatunde, who's an SCN now. Said, okay, what do you now want to do? I said, I'm not sure litigation is for me. So said, okay. And that was about the time we were looking at some of the problems we wanted to solve with the fact that people were not having access to the law reports. I said, what about if we, because it was one of the reasons we started the law reporting, that okay, since you like to read and there is this problem, why don't we put heads together, join forces together, ask the Supreme Court if they can assist us so that we can take charge and let us start to do the law reports. And then maybe sometime later in future, if you want to come back to practice, you're not going to come back as a novice. And you're not going to come back not knowing your left from your right. So I took up that challenge in 1999. And I started the law reporting. And in the middle of the way, he said, okay, now that you're doing with the law reporting, the thing is that if you now want to come back, even if you want to become a judge, you can't be. I said, cool, yeah, we'll look into that. So I started thinking and dreaming that, okay, of course, with law reporting, I can become a judge and all that. But when I started law reporting, all I could see was man's inhumanity to man. On the pages of the law report, I saw these cases. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I see people go to prisons for crimes they didn't commit. Sometimes I see brothers killing brothers. Sometimes I was seeing dark hearts, particularly for the criminal cases. And I was saying, am I sure I want to do this, become a judge and sentence somebody, particularly what if the person didn't do this? And 25 years down the line, another evidence comes up and you realize that this person actually was jailed without proper evidence. Because we have a lot of cases like that. So people lie. People, because they don't like your face, they can say that you did this. And they will swear on oath that you did it. And sometime later, they will come back to confess. I've given my life to Christ. That person I lied against didn't commit it. And I'm saying, what of if the person has been killed? So some of those things started making me have a rethink about going to the bench. And all I could see was that there were young people, most of them were young people committing these crimes. So instead of the law report pushing me to my dream of going to the bench, the law reports and the cases were pushing me to say, how can we help our young people? How can we make them to better people? How can we make them to stop these killings? How can we make them to know who they are? Because truly, if you know who you are, and that is one of my favorite topics, who am I and what do I hope to become? That is one topic that I carry from everywhere to everywhere. Because if you really know yourself, knowing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, because even the Bible says in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5, that you see, before we were formed, God knew us from our mother's womb, and God had a purpose. The word purpose is such a huge word. I'm not sure I'll have the time to go into that. All of us have a purpose here on earth. And once a child realizes that I'm here for a reason, what is my why? Maybe they won't be committing some of these crimes. Because I often ask myself, youths committing these crimes, on their hate day, when they were giving birth to, their parents did naming ceremony. Here in Nigeria, we do naming ceremony, we do ikomo, we do it and we lavish money. And once a child is born, there is so much rejoicing and partying. The mother, they do all that. They were giving birth by some parents, And they did their naming ceremony on the 8th day. Everybody rejoiced. The whole world rejoiced.
Mm.
So what happened along the line?
Mm.
So that was what drew me to the young people. And that when the young people realize that God has a purpose for their lives, and they're here for a reason, and they know their why. Maybe our prison cells, our remand homes, because we also visit the remand homes. Our remand homes will not be as full as they are. And then, of course, when the young people get it right, because the young people of today will become the politicians of tomorrow, they'll become the leaders of tomorrow. So if and when they get it right early in life, maybe not all, but some, the seeds will be planted, it will germinate, it will grow, and will probably make the world a better place if we have the right people.
Amen.
The right places. So that is why the youths are very close to my heart.
Thank you
Thank you very
much for
much.
that. Thank you very much for that and for doing what you do. So it sounds like, the litigations are lost is the youth's gain and the gain of, of society. Because you seem to be doing so much more than you could probably have been doing in the courts. It sounds to me that the work that you're doing, you're better serving society. And you're also doing something that you actually believe in, something that you're passionate about. So I guess the impact also comes from that. And you are a good advocate of people knowing who they are and following their passion, doing what it is they believe in, not just going to the court because, oh yes, I was trained to go and, do whatever, argue cases in court, but I could better serve, use my knowledge, use my skills to do something better, something else, which I believe in. So we thank God for that. We thank God for the grace.
Thank you very much. Sorry, because I always say that, yes, you have your career. You have your career, but your calling. Is your career leading to your calling? Because all of us have our calling. So my career actually led me to my calling.